On today's episode of OUTRUN, we're going to start modifying the Mazda3 Turbo. Sometimes the best mods are the simple ones. I bought some OEM Mazda floor liners to replace my cloth mats that just can't stay clean no matter how hard I try. They're great quality, and because it's factory, they fit like a glove. So this next mod, I do have to thank my friends from MikStore in the Philippines. They are stupendous people, and they gave me a nice discount on this so I could show it to everybody. But this is their ambient lighting kit for the new generation BP hatch. You can also have it for the sedan, and they make it for the Honda Civic, which is kind of nice. So if you have a new Civic, new Mazda 3, you can throw this in. But let's pop this guy open and see what's going on. So you guys remember like 30 seconds ago when I said the best mods are simple? Well, this one's still good, but it is far from simple. They do send you over 4 pieces to replace the chrome door trim, 4 LED strips already the size, 3 control modules, and a wiring harness for every panel you'll be working on, so it is a great piece of kit. I'm going to get this party started with the driver's door panel. You'll start by pulling off the speaker grill with a pry tool of some kind. I'm using a flathead screwdriver covered in tape so that the chrome doesn't scratch, but it does scratch pretty easy. Follow up with the black plastic below the inner handle to reveal the second of 3 screws you need to get the door panel off. The first screw is just left at the door speaker, and the third is just under the switch panel, hidden beneath a small cover. Removing those will be all of the screws out of the door that you need. Now to actually get the door card itself off, I'm using a large flathead with tape to stop it from scratching the paint. Here's my head for scale! Before going to town on the door itself, be sure to remove the small tweeter along the window frame, which just unclips and pulls right off. It's nice and easy. So I'm going to time-lapse this for you, but with the 3 screws removed, the door card literally just pops off. I'd start in one of the lower corners and give it a firm tug. Don't be gentle here, honestly. The corner in the top left of this door has a tab that faces upwards too, so leave it for last, and when the rest are free, just pull up on that corner and the door card pops right off. Now for the back side of that door panel. After pushing the white fluff out of the way, you're going to find 6 Phillip head screws holding in the chrome trim, which is visible from the other side, as you will note. Removing those allows the trim to slide out of place and allows you to install the replacement trim from the kit. Just slide it in the way the other one came out and make sure that wire is free. With your shiny new trim in place, get out your drill, because it's time to put some holes in your brand new car. Look carefully where I drill mine, because the instructions don't tell you, and use the included drill bit to make the hole. The kit includes a bunch of these little LED panels to use for the door handle and storage lights. Slap one of those in the hole, and again make sure that that wire is free. Now the second hole is drilled in the top of the handle well. Be sure to use the smaller bit when making this cut, because you're going to be using the smaller LED they include. MikStore sends you a wiring harness for each door, and it quite literally turns this whole project from a wiring nightmare into a bolt-in affair. The big yellow harness you can see here plugs into the car's door control module, and that stock harness goes into the end of that. Using one of the included 3M pads, stick that LED module anywhere on the door and tuck the wires away so they aren't just hanging out anymore. With that out of the way, I'd say we're ready to plug it all back in and put the door back together. Directing attention to your right, we now have to conquer the center console. The upper dash is first on the chopping block, so to remove it, just grab it by the seam next to the infotainment and pull with some force. Horrifying, I know, but trust me, you won't break it. Once one side is out, just tug along the edges and the whole thing will fall into your lap. With the dash out, there's a few screws you need to loosen, which will allow the upper half to pull away from the lower half. When that gap's open, press the first LED strip into it with the wired end on the driver's side and tighten the screws back into place so that the 2 halves of the dash hold the LED strip in place. It's like a sandwich. Putting it back is as easy as taking it out. Line it up and punch it back in. You'll hear the clips all snap back into place, but give it a few more pushes just to make sure. The piece to the left of the steering wheel is done in an identical fashion. Pull it hard to remove it, undo the screws, slide the LED strip into the gap, and tighten it back up again. Alright, so we have made some really solid progress so far. It's now day 2, actually, which is why I look dead. I just woke up. So we're going to go get a drink, and then we're going to reconvene on Ye Olde Car and get this one done. We've finished the center console, and then the entire left side of the car is done. So we just need to do the other side of the door. There's a deer in the yard. We just need to do the other side of the door. There's another deer. The other side of the door, and then we'll be done, and we'll show you the finished product. Dude, Bagel Minis, elite product. Elite. So that's the full installation of the lights done. The wiring's all tucked behind the dash. It makes it nice and easy. There's tons of spots for it. Something I found really helpful was grabbing one of the light strips, hooking it up to the wire, and then pushing it through where you wanted the wire to be routed, and then just pulling it through. And that way you had the wire through it, but you didn't have to try and like force it through somehow. So that made it a lot easier. And then we should be minty fresh. We'll do some cinematics, and you'll be on your way.